India isn't struggling to attract foreign investors, it is struggling to retain them. India's latest foreign direct investment numbers have sparked concern and confusion. At first glance, the headline appears alarming. Net FDI into India between April and December 2025 has fallen dramatically to just around $3 billion. For many, that immediately raises a question. Are foreign investors losing faith in India? Listen to full report to know the story in detail.
The answer is more nuanced, because if we look beyond the headline number, a very different picture emerges. During the same period, India actually attracted nearly $74 billion in foreign direct investment. That is not the profile of a country being abandoned by global investors. In fact, it confirms that India continues to remain one of the most attractive investment destinations in the world. So, where is the problem? The problem is that while $74 billion came in, nearly $71 billion went out. Investors took money off the table through profit repatriation, stake sales, exits from old investments, and disinvestment from companies where they had invested years ago. Technically, that explains the decline in net FDI. But it does not answer the more important question. Why are so many investors choosing to withdraw capital, even while new investors continue to enter India? The answer lies in understanding the difference between attracting investment and retaining investment. India has no shortage of attractions. A population of more than 1.4 billion people, a rapidly expanding middle class, growing consumption, digital adoption at scale, a young workforce, and one of the fastest growing large economies in the world. These factors make India almost impossible for global investors to ignore. If you are a multinational company looking for future growth, India remains one of the few markets large enough to move the needle. That is why fresh capital keeps flowing in. But attracting investors is only the first part of the story. The real challenge begins after they arrive. Investors do not invest merely because the market is large. They invest because they expect profitability, predictability, and policy stability. And this is where India's challenges become more visible. Many investors continue to complain about high taxation, increasing compliance requirements, regulatory complexity, lengthy litigation processes, policy uncertainty, and multiple layers of approvals. Each of these factors adds friction, and capital does not like friction. More importantly, capital does not like unpredictability. An investor can tolerate taxes, an investor can tolerate regulation. What investors struggle with is uncertainty. If rules change unexpectedly, approvals take too long, disputes drag on for years, or compliance becomes increasingly burdensome, investors begin reassessing how much capital they want to keep committed. And that appears to be what the latest FDI numbers are telling us. The opportunity in India remains attractive enough to bring new money in. But the operating environment is making many existing investors more cautious about keeping larger amounts of capital here for the long term. This is why it would be incorrect to conclude that foreign investors are leaving India. They are not. They continue to come. They continue to invest. They continue to see enormous potential in the Indian economy. But they are becoming more selective, more careful, and perhaps less willing to continuously increase their exposure. In other words, India's people attract investors. India's consumption story attracts investors. India's market size attracts investors. The question is whether our policy environment inspires the same level of confidence. Because the latest FDI data reveals an important distinction. India has largely succeeded in becoming a destination where investors want to enter. The bigger challenge is becoming a destination where investors want to stay invested. And in the coming years, that distinction may matter far more than the headline FDI numbers themselves. Do let us know your views in the comments below. For independent journalism and sharp analysis, subscribe to HW News Network. Thanks for watching.